I felt very deeply connected with that work. And I have a question. If it's the same, if you are scared to get married, it has something to do with the same work?
Yes, it may. It may. Some people are scared that they place a burden on a partner. So they rather keep out of that, you see.
But I wish to marry. But that's my wish. I want to be.
Yes.
But I'm very scared.
Yes. The normal procedure is, you see, you get the strength to flow over with love. And that is never dangerous, you see. Just to flow over. And very often, one of the partners, they want to resolve something from their past with the help of the partner. And then they place a burden on the partner sometimes, you see. I remember there was a man in Switzerland who had a brother who starved to death during the war. He had not enough to eat. And he was afraid that he would have to starve, you see. That was his image. So he married a woman who was anorectic. She should do it for him. Sometimes we see that, you see. And we also see that in some relationships, if the partner sees that the other one wants to die, he says, "I in your place." Rather common to see that. And if, for instance, the woman would feel that she has a tendency to expect somebody to do something for her, to die, for instance, or to get ill for her, then she may be reluctant. She feels that, you see. Then she said, "No, better I stay out of that. I won't endanger anybody." That's also often the case, you see. Now with you, we would have to look more closely at the issue, you see, what that is, then we could find out. I may do that in the course of that workshop still, you see. But first of all, I want to say something more about couples relationships that may be helpful in a general way. Yesterday we were talking about the 3 magic words. That's a wonderful help for a successful couples relationship. There's something else to be considered in a couples relationship. A couples relationship thrives on the exchange of good things. So, because a couple love one another, they give to the other one. Let's say the husband does something good for the wife. And she's happy about it, of course. At the same time, she feels obliged also to do something for the husband. So she wants to balance that, you see. But she does not only balance, she gives him a little bit more out of love. That's usual in couples relationship, you see. Then he says, wonderful, and he feels obliged. So he returns and gives her a little bit more. And she a little bit more, and he a little bit more. And therefore, the volume of exchange of good things increases in the couple's relationship. That binds them together in a wonderful way and makes them happy. It has a disadvantage, of course. They can't get away from one another so easily because this exchange binds them very strongly to one another. those who want to stay free, they give little and they receive little, they take little. You see that very often, you see, in couples relationship. For instance, in couples who refuse to marry, they give a little and receive a little, and so they stay free. They wait for something better. And when they separate, well, it's very difficult to find something better. So we make, but when from the beginning both are ready to give all they have to the other, they flow over, this will be a very happy relationship. There's one thing also to be considered. If you give too much in a couple's relationship, then the other cannot return. And that endangers a couple's relationship. A very common experience is, I observed that in many occasions. For instance, if the husband is still a student and he wants to finish his university studies, but he has no money, and the wife pays for him. Once he gets his degree, he will separate because he feels unable to return what she gave to him. So there must be a proper balance. So we must never give more than the other one can return. So it's a certain limit to the exchange, but it respects the capability of all concerned. And there's something else. Shall I go on with that still? Yes? Still interesting? Although I have spoken more than 7 minutes. You see, if you give and you really care, you feel good and superior. Not you, I just take you as an example, of course. So the one who gives feels superior, and the one who receives, he feels a little bit lower, you see. Unless he can exchange. Therefore, the one who gives must be ready to take equally. That's why the second of the magic words is please. As soon as you say please, you let go of your superiority. That's very important in a couple's relationship. There's, of course, another aspect to be considered. Now, if the woman hurts the husband with words, and of course, women have many means to hurt a man, of course, very subtle means. And then he may feel angry or rejected, you see. And then he wants to revenge himself. He wants to revenge himself, you see. He feels hurt and he wants to balance. And then, for instance, there was a man once in my workshops. He said, shortly after his marriage, his parents called on him to be their driver for a holiday. So he left his wife for 6 weeks going with his parents. She felt hurt, of course, rightly so, you see. And she could never forgive him, never. Then he asked what to do. I said, well, you tell her she can hurt him by demanding something from him that will cost him as much as it cost her at that time. And immediately was happy. He knew he can save the marriage. So the exchange in the negative is very important too. So holy people, they can't exchange because they forgive. That's the worst thing that can happen in a relationship. So one who forgives is superior, and the other one is a poor sinner, and he remains a poor sinner throughout the marriage. And he will leave, of course, rightly so. You see? Can you follow me? So with this, so you hurt the other one too. But what happened usually? The one who feels hurts the other one a little more. And as I explained, I think before, there is even the secret wish that the other one should die. That's natural. That comes from our, well, that's just part of the human race, like this. And we must know that. And then the other one says, well, that's too much. And he hurts again, more and more and more. And that is a typical relationship where they keep together but both unhappy, because this kind of exchange binds them to one another as well, very strangely. Now the secret is that you find a way from this negative exchange to the positive exchange again. So the man is hurt and says to his wife, I will hurt you too, with love. So he will hurt her too, but a little bit less, because she expects that he revenges himself. She's waiting for this. But now he does a little bit less. She's very surprised, you see. She says, he loves me. And then the positive exchange can be resumed. That's the secret on how to resolve issues of mutual hurting in a relationship. So, well, be happy.